See, here's the thing, right? When you're a black celebrity that's well established in Hollywood, right? Well established in Hollywood, you've been rubbing elbows and been mingling in very powerful men and women in Hollywood, and you know, you want to continue to build those relationships with those well established men and women in Hollywood. There's certain things that you do not want to break up, which is your bottom line. You see, black people, you know, their lifeline and their oxygen when it comes to success is their money, their bottom line. And if you wanna if you wanna threaten their oxygen, right? If you wanna threaten their oxygen, all you gotta do is make sure that they fall in line with everybody that they, right, have a relationship with, meaning that they have uh, their particular people that they know are way more powerful than them, because of course Hollywood is dominated by the dominant white society, aka Jews. They own and control everything, right? So they have to make sure they apologize, they adhere to whatever demands the dominant white society in Hollywood says that they do, says that they deem fit. And you know, we've seen it with Nick Cannon. We've seen Nick Cannon, you know, act like he was woke, act like he was a part of the struggle. And it comes to find out, he was basically perpetrating a fraud because he chose money over his own people. Right? He wanted to make sure he was still getting them checks, still had, you know, because you know the dominant white society and the Jewish control Hollywood, they're one and the same. You know, but my point is that when they can basically suck the life out of you and all your works over the years in Hollywood with Wild and Out and all that stuff, and just say, hey, you're not making no more money in Hollywood. You're not making no more money off your shows unless you get on your own damn platform, apologize, and adhere to our history. When in fact, it's, you know, they're basically doing this reverse psychology thing. No, you guys are not the victims. We're the victims. Black society ain't did nothing compared to our struggle. This is exactly what Nick Cannon went through when he was interviewed by that damn rabbi, that so-called rabbi, which I didn't see that interview, by the way. You know, I refuse to see somebody get effeminized and bug broken, you know, like Nick Cannon, the way that he did. So I don't want to see that. But when it comes to, like I said, well-established people in Hollywood, black society, people in Hollywood that don't want to make sure their bottom line is affected by burning bridges to the very powerful men and women in Hollywood, right? They want to make sure they're protected. So this is no different than what Kevin Hart and Tyrese are doing. They're defending Ellen DeGeneres, who I completely despise. You know, defending Ellen DeGeneres. You know, and I'll read to you what Tyrese said and Kevin Hart actually said as well. Uh, but basically, you know, Ellen DeGeneres, of course, is going through issues with her show. People are coming out saying there's been misconduct, there's been racism that's displayed on her show, and not just black people, not black former employers, but white former employees as well. Okay, are coming out and saying there's misconduct, there's racism in her workplace. It's a toxic environment, is what they're saying. Okay, and it's coming out the woodwork, and this all of these particular people coming out the woodwork and coming forward more than likely going to end her show. Now, I've said this on Instagram. I've said this before, that you know, white people who get into that kind of trouble, that kind of controversy, they don't get fired; they get transferred. So Ellen DeGeneres will be fine. She does not need the caping of Kevin Hart and Tyrese to make sure she lands another job. Somebody will pick her show up. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. But for Tyrese and Kevin Hart to extend an olive branch for support of Ellen DeGeneres is basically saying, you know what? Whatever show you land on in the future, I got your back. But here's the thing, right? When Kevin Hart was going through his thing with his wife, um, when Kevin Hart was going through so many issues, right, in the past, his car accident and all that stuff, where was Ellen DeGeneres support for you? When Tyrese was going through his issues with his kids, I believe, remember that meme he was going through? Uh, what more do you want from me? Right? Where was Ellen DeGeneres? My point is that whenever there's an issue for us, individually or as a society itself, where exactly is the humility? Where exactly is the reciprocity from the dominant white society to black society? Because we've been mistreated for over 500 years. We have been the bottom of the totem pole in every statistical category for over 500 years because of systemic oppression, the transatlantic slave trade, etc. We have been dominated, mistreated, disenfranchised, emasculated, right? Remove the father from the black household. Make sure that we live in impoverished conditions so that we have a much, much harder time to establish, our presence in today's society. We have to go through more obstacles than any other group in order for us to be the standard. Where is their sympathy for us as a whole? Period. Right? It doesn't exist. And so what you're seeing with Kevin Hart and what you're seeing with Tyrese is just a reflection of black society in terms of their mental health issue with being continually mistreated by the oppressors and still wanting them and looking for acceptance. Looking for them for just looking up to the dominant white society for acceptance and to just be admired by them. That's a form of Stockholm syndrome. That's a form of cognitive dissonance. That's a form of post-traumatic slavery disorder, right? Those are the three main mental health issues I've always talked about for years. And that's what you're seeing with Kevin Hart and Tyrese, and of course Nick Cannon as well. But they're a reflection of us in general. Like there's so many people that are going to be voting for Joe Biden and Trump, and they have been on record publicly by denigrating black society. Completely. But you still got black folks going to vote for either one of those candidates. I'm not voting for neither one. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But Tyrese, like I said, he went ahead and did his little diatribe on what was it, Twitter? He made a post on either Twitter or Instagram, but I got it right here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. He basically said he's just giving his support to Ellen DeGeneres because he made up a metaphor by saying if you climb a ladder, people at the bottom are waiting for you to get off the ladder by shooting you down once you reach the top. Once you reach the top, they're gonna continue to shoot you down until you fall, right? But again, where is that same admiration, that same exact feeling when you're down, right? When you reach a certain plateau in your career, Kevin Hart, Tyrese, where was her support when you guys were going through the same issues? Where was her support or the LGBTQIA community? Because they always add letters to the LGBTQIA community. They always add letters to that group. They add letters every other day. But, and I could talk about this before, they're comparing the LGBTQIA community's struggle to black society struggle, which is completely different. And the LGBTQIA community is a protected group that was established and funded and protected and created by the Obama administration. Period. All right? So it's completely different. We're still mistreated. We're still disenfranchised. We're still at the bottom of the totem pole in every statistical category when it comes to black society. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, of course, Kevin Hart did the same thing, caping for the Ellen DeGeneres, talking about he knew her for years, this, that, and the third, and he's, she's like such a great person. Again, man, when you are well established in Hollywood, you don't want to break those. You don't want to burn those bridges because Kevin Hart and Tyrese knows Ellen DeGeneres is going through something right now, but when she bounces back, because she will bounce back, they made sure that olive branch is still there. So they'll be on her show when she gets another opportunity. They'll be on her show. I'm pretty sure they will. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to continue to, buck dance, shuck and jive for Ellen DeGeneres and the dominant white society in Hollywood, period. Just to make sure their bottom line is not affected. They're still getting them checks. And able to work in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, family. Those are my thoughts on that, family. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at GMOG Fitness, family. You already know what it is. Till next time, signing out.